The sub is called AsKmEn, not aSkWoMeN. In the 4 years that I've been a mod here, this is by far the most bitch-made statement that I've ever had the misfortune of reading. It always comes from some weak-ass chucklefuck who thinks this sub is his safe space from those dastardly women's crowding his precious AsKmEn sub that he just started posting on last week. You can tell that these people don't post here either because it's never any of the regulars that do this. Let's be real though, we know the exact type of person who says this shit. From this point forward, if you get caught making this comment to any of our users, you're copping a permaban. Gender will not be a reason for a user to be unwelcome on this sub. TLDR. Don't be an asshole. For those who didn't know, this shit doesn't fly either. Well, since the sub's name is AsKmEn, logically speaking this is not men ask men or women ask men, it's everybody ask men, right? Edit. Wow, I didn't expect to receive awards for this. Thank you so much, kind strangers. These are my first awards ever. I'll keep them in my mind, and in my soul and on my Reddit profile XD. I'm a woman and I don't come here to read answers from women. I want to see answers from men. I can really easily go to the aSkWoMeN sub if I wanted to see that. Op didn't ask a question, can we ban him? Now they can't say, WTF I didn't even know. Now they do woman tipping hand and it's locked. This is what got you incel fucks quarantined in the first place, LMAO. Typical female mods setting up traps and covering their asses. This is censorship. Free speech. Yeah, those dastardly women's in my AsKmEn sub. SPLS no bannerino. Slite. It's AsKmEn because it's a sub to ask things to men. Anyone can ask a man anything. I love the use of chucklefuck. Such a fun word. Slite. Slite. Peeved bitch. I mean, I have no issues with women commenting at all. But when there's a thread and the top answers are literally all women, it makes me step back and think why exactly this thread is in AsKmEn. I also feel for those women who presumably wanted men's answers to their questions. Wait, is this saying that this sub is for asking both men and women? I think a better way to think about this is to read the room. If a man in aSkWoMeN or a woman in AsKmEn is going to jump in, he or she should be respectful and deferential. For example, if a man asks, I have a small cock, how much a difference will that make? Small-cocked men would be in the best position to answer because they have a lifetime of lived experience. If a woman wants to pipe in and say, for most of her friends it's not terribly important as long as he makes an effort, that's fine and can be helpful to add another perspective. If a man asks, I have a small cock, how much a difference will that make? Yo, don't be so disrespectful to the moderators. No, it's still primarily for men to answer questions, I think. But since it's expected that both men and women and non-binary folks post questions for those men to answer, we're all hanging out in this sub together. Therefore it's not cool to get mad if a non-man feels the urge to contribute to the conversations sometimes. Decent rule, but this post comes off white knighty as fuck. Slite. Hope she sees this, bro. The most bitch-made statement from some weak-ass chucklefuck. Funny. I often have the same opinion of posts that get stickied here. Rather than just state the info, it's a full-out vent, bitch session. Kinda sounds like most of y'all mods are stressed as fuck from this job and need a vacation. Spends hours moderating for free yet claims superiority. What can you expect from people like that? Why should I post here and not the bigger and better aSkReddit then? This is actually a really dumb ass complaint from you as a mod. Might as well just be the aSkReddit or advice sub if there's nothing making this sub different. The whole point here is to get the viewpoint of men. I don't really complain about it, but I do always notice there are a ton of women replying to stuff here which makes zero sense. Replying to a comment would make sense, but being a top comment doesn't. Edit to add. I reported this post for misinformation. I bet you're really good at getting people to roll their eyes. It always comes from some weak-ass chucklefuck. What is it with the mods on here having the most shit banter? You all talk like the 2 a.m. chili guy. Because they're mods. Imagine being such a no-life that you decide to moderate a big sub on Reddit. It doesn't get much more neck-beardy than that. If your own users keep making this comment, maybe you should listen to them, or dissolve this sub entirely and direct people to r/aSkReddit, as there is no point in an AsKmEn sub if it isn't predominantly men who respond. But no, call out users for making bitch statements. Lol. I don't get it. It's literally called AsKmEn. If I wanted a response from both sexes, I would go on aSkReddit. If I wanted to get a response from women, I'd go on aSkWoMeN. I'm not crazy active on this sub, but am I missing something here? What the fuck? Lol. Make a subreddit called AsKmEn, allow anyone to answer question regardless of gender, therefore defeating the express purpose for the subreddit's creation? Quarantine be hidden mods different. I'm a lurker of this sub specifically because of its advertised purpose. It's fine to have different subs be used for different things. It's okay for this sub to be expressly for men to answer questions from people about man things. There's plenty of other subs that are free for both men and women to answer anything. Subs for just women to answer questions. Why is it a problem if one subreddit is just for men to answer things? Outsider here. I'm sorry, but does the title of the sub not imply that you are seeking answers from men when you ask a question here? If that is the case, then would it not be natural to assume that answers from women or people who are not men would be seen as less valued or potentially unwelcome, unwanted in the context? If that is not the case, then why name the sub AsKmEn? Why not name it Ask Anybody or something similar? What's the point of having a sub dedicated to asking questions specifically to men if anybody can answer regardless of being a man or not? By all means, let women chime in if they want to. I'm not saying you should ban women for speaking their mind. I'm saying you probably shouldn't ban people for pointing out the purpose of the sub. But then I'm probably just afraid because those dastardly women's crowding his precious AsKmEn sub that he just started posting on last week, or something. Feel free to ban me if it pleases you, I guess. This sub gets more childish and more authoritarian by the day. Are all mods 12 years old? Certainly feels like it. Agree with other comments. Mods are on power trip and defeating purpose of subtitle all because, but inclusivity. I'm out. Unsubbed. You didn't read your own TLDR, you weak ass chucklefuck. Makes sub aimed at a specific demographic. Bans people of that demographic for pointing out the intrinsic point of the sub. What a hoot. Why even have the sub? What does this place offer that you can't get from aSkReddit then? Edit. Da fuck is an all-seeing upvote? How many premium currencies does Reddit have? I never post here, it just ended up in popular, but can you explain what is the point of having a sub called AsKmEn if you're going to let women answer? If I wanted a question answered by both sexes, I'd go to aSkReddit. If I want the opinion of men specifically, I'll come to this sub. Why is this so controversial? Edit. Of course the mod who said last night he wasn't on a power trip has locked the post. So fucking typical. What I want to know is how this is upvoted so highly, 4,374 at this time. Yet all of the comments are calling out the mod post negatively.